Good morning. So today I wanted to share somebody that I've been listening to um, on YouTube, which is his name is Pastor Joseph Okechukw. It's Okechukw. And usually when I ask God about certain things, I do get videos because I'm on YouTube anyway, right? So he speaks what's going on. He has such an insight about these things, and I think he's Ethiopian, if I'm not mistaken. I was trying to get information on him, and I didn't see anything. So I had made a video before, but for some reason my dress was not looking well, so I had to put it all the way up. Um, so I had a dream yesterday, last night actually, and it was a very vivid dream. Like I always, once in a blue moon I get these dreams. And you know I did home care for almost 20 years, so I was always taking care of seniors. So this has to do with the dream. I was there in a house with a senior, and the lady was African American. So all of a sudden, to my left there was a window, a small window, and this guy came through that window, and he had like a yellow hoodie on, and he also was African American. And I started screaming for him to get out, get out. So then what happened was that I don't know, I started screaming and screaming and screaming, but he was just standing his ground. He wasn't moving at all whatsoever. And then the next video, the next thing I know, I was outside and there were people there, and there was some African American on the side, and I could overhear them saying, oh, why she had to be screaming like that. She was rude. She was so rude. And so I just got out of that area. I was walking down, and then this young African American girl came up to me, and she told me, oh, because I noticed that, I don't know what, if I brushed up against something, and I had like these burrs or these things in my hand, right, in my fingers, and I was looking at it, it was on my right hand that I had these burrs, and she came up to me and she said, oh, can I help you remove them? So she took my fingers, she started doing something, she started rubbing it and rubbing it, and then she took, I remember her walking down with me. It was going like a little downhill. So then what happened was that, so I don't know, I, I, I was brought into a building, and when I went inside, there were three men standing, and they were looking to the left, and one of them, there were three, one, two, three, yeah. And the one that at the end had like a vest on, like a sweater vest, and he had like, this checker pattern like that, and it was in gray, black and white, and he had salt pepper hair, but he also was African American. So he looked at me, and then the other one looked at me, and then the other one looked at me, and I just looked at them because I was thinking, what's going on here? I was trying to think what's going on in this situation. And all of a sudden I extended my hand to shake their hand, and they came, and the elderly man came and shook my hand and told me, well, finally you are acknowledging us, or something like that. And but they kept on looking forward. After they told me that, they kept on looking forward. So it was very strange. I don't know what it means, but so yeah, look at that pastor. He's very insightful of what's going on with this conflict. Um, I do believe it has to do with the Antichrist coming into Israel and trying to set up himself there. So everything has been done and set up for years, years and years and years. I don't know what happened with the IDF. I was also listening to these Indians talking about it, because It's like the IDF did the same exact mistake that the FBI did, but then again, you don't think it's a mistake because they brought in a surveillance system after that. So what's going on with the IDF? Are they the same as the FBI now? It's just, I feel so horrible for the people because the people are always the ones who suffer. So I always ask God, God, you know these people are innocent, children are innocent. Just do what you did with Stephen. That Stephen told God, take me away before he even got killed. So he was able to get him out before he died a horrible death, which was stoning. So I told God, you know, did you take these children's life? Because remember, each and every one of us have an angel, even though we don't see them. There's a humongous population of angels walking around. And one day I did see it, and I was like, what am I watching? You know, are these dead people? Because I was at the beginning, this for me was when I became a born again Christian, but that was like 7 years ago. Then I came to know, no, it's just a population of angels because everybody has an angel, so they're walking around. So I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I said, they let these angels snatch away these children before their spirits, before they experience all these horrific things, because there's probably going to be more to come, you know. So I'm praying for the Gaza people too, because you know, the ones that I think that were protesting were put there on purpose, you know, to protest so the world could see that they were doing this. But most of the Palestinians didn't want this. They are stuck, you know, and they were just living their lives. And Gaza is beautiful. I looked at Gaza. They said, oh, it was a cage. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's amazing. And then I saw a YouTube short about a man, looked like a white dude, right? And he was doing the paragliding, and he said, "You see, you could come here to Gaza. You could do this. You could do that." And I'm like, huh. So he was showing paragliding, but he said you could come here to fish. You could come and scuba dive. You could come and ride horses. And I'm thinking, all this conflict is for a reason and for a purpose. It's been done like forever. This been going on. Because you think about the kibbutz and where they put them strategically, what was going to happen. This been done a very long time ago, right? So, yeah. The thing about all these things is that you're going to get attacked. Whether it's your health, or whether it's your finances, whether it's your animal. So, I'm like, oh my goodness, you know. Should I do this again? Because I know something is coming. You know, sometimes it comes before you do something for God, you know. And also, God had told me a long time ago, Cecilia, I'm gonna give out anointings. And I was like, when I heard about it, some people are gonna get the Elijah, the Deborah, the Esther, Jeremiah, John the Baptist anointings. They all coming down, right? So I was excited. I was like, I need to see this. I want to be part of it. And then I said, oh no, God, is the church going to be able to receive these people? Are they going to be able to really believe them? Or are you going to find a way of them doing things? Or are you going to have a church available for them to come in with these anointings? Or do they need a church? Or they could do something else? I saw this man on YouTube, I think it was from last year, that he was going around the country. And he didn't want nobody to help him. He said, oh, God is providing. And he was going around and he was praying. And he said he was doing it for God. He was walking all over the United States. And it's like, wow, that sounds like John the Baptist. I don't know. I'm just thinking there's a lot of Deborahs out there. So I'm just praying for God to help them, right? Help them just open up the eyes of the church so they could understand what's going on, and that they are going to be people at the end times that are going to help, and they are not going to come out with a lot of stuff, because my neighbor told me, oh, Cecilia, the church don't like poor people. And I'm like, which church? Because I go to this church, they love me, right? My church love me. And I'm poor. I'm poor of the poor, right? She has more stuff than I do. And she was like, no, they don't like poor people. And so I'm like, what is this? What is going on? Because I told her, Jesus didn't come for the rich. He came for the poor. Because those are the ones that are being attacked. It's not the rich people that are being attacked. If you have good stuff, you ain't going to get attacked, unless you got being given things for a reason. There's a reason behind your riches, whatever you have to do for the kingdom. So, oh my goodness. So yeah, it's been a crazy day. It just started to, so I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, the first video that I made, I don't know what happened to my shirt. And hopefully I'm gonna be able to fix my video again, because I don't know why I made such a huge mistake in that sense. But people that are from Syria are not Assyrians. So I'm thinking about an Asian culture, but what I do when I say is spiritual. I'm not talking physical, it's spiritual. Right now, that's what we need to do. We need to get into the spiritual world in order to do things, to move things around, because they doing it. For example, when that Oppenheimer movie came out, my heart sank. When my son was like, oh, I want to go see it and this and that, and I'm like, oh no, because I remember Prophet Brian, what he said. And I'm like, okay, that has to be when a woman president takes over. It's the female spirit that is trying to take over at the end times, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I just hope that whatever the dream is, I don't know. So many weird dreams that I get, but I don't understand them. Sometimes it's like, please, no more, Like I said one time, I don't want to hear when the angels say something, because they come to tell me things that I feel that for me is irrelevant. For example, they told me, well, they talking this and that about you. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. I'm already suffering. Why put more of that on top of me, right? So I guess even bad news, good news, everything you have, they're going to tell you. And I've been told this person is talking about you, that person is talking about you, this and this and this and that. And I'm like, man, what can I do about it? I don't care, because I'm not there for this person and that person. I don't need to know. So I get angry with them because I don't want to know certain things, right? And I come to know anyway. Sometimes it's not an angel. Sometimes it's a demon who's telling me what I heard, that they said this about you, right? And it's like, that's what they call the arrows that fly by day, right? Because they come and they just put that thought in you and like, oh, I don't want to know. God, I do not want to know. I don't want to know. I don't need to know this, Sometimes it's for people to get judged, So I'm like, okay, let me just not think about it. If it's something that is, an emergency, yes. But some things I don't want to know. If they say something, let them say it. It is what it is. And I think in that sense, I, I stopped listening to whatever they say about what they're talking about, because I really don't care, right? Because as a Christian, you are going to get bombarded by people talking about you. Even Christian to Christian. That's normal. That's not something that not going to happen. That's just human nature in itself, right? I can imagine Apostle Paul, Apostle Peter going through all this back then with the churches also, right? At Corinth and all these different churches, they were always doing this and that. The Apostle Paul's letters, and I'm like, oh my God, they were going through the same thing. So I don't take it seriously. I just don't. I tell them I don't want to know. There is something that I need to pray for. There is something that is urgent, like people. But I know, that this is gonna happen to many people out there. That you're gonna hear maybe a demon telling you, listen, they said this then behind closed doors. I heard it. And you just tell them, listen, I don't want to know. I don't want to know because it's not irrelevant to whatever you're doing. Because if you're supposed to pray for them and then a demon come and tells you, well, you're praying for them, but they said this about you. Like, I really don't care, right? Because that's just our human emotions. I was like that way before I became a Christian. I was like that. I was angry with the world. So yeah, I don't know what's coming next, but this pastor is amazing. I mean, he has really great wisdom, so you should listen to him. God bless you.